This is how a game demo made me buy 3 games within the series when I haven't even played one yet. So I randomly decided to play the Trails of Cold Steel 3 demo because I didn't have anything else to play at the moment and I didn't feel like recording Final Fantasy VII right now or even starting a brand new game. But with that being said, what I found going through the Cold Steel 3 demo and what I found afterwards on YouTube after playing it has me extremely interested in playing the entire series up to the point where I've already purchased 3 of the games and I can't wait to jump into the rest of the series. This demo starts off with you seeing 2 different types of soldiers who look like regular ordinary guards that you can honestly see in our world, and the other guys are just carrying around these big technological great swords, so that's cool. Next we cut to the scene with these 4 ladies who look like they jumped straight out of the Valkyrie profile, and it looks like they're in the middle of a battlefield. Then we get to what I can assume to be the main characters, which are these students in the middle of this war. So the students go on their way through this castle fighting various enemies and monsters until they get to these guys right here. After defeating them, the students encounter the Valkyrie profile lookalikes and they have a fight. And from that point, their instructor and his friend show up, and then we jump into what I guess is the actual beginning of Trails of Cold Steel 3. And we find out the instructor's name is Reen and he's the Ashen Chevalier, which is apparently a hero of this country that we're in. But then we find out he has a talking fucking Gundam of all things, and soon after that, we get off the train and we find out that we're going to be a teacher at a military academy. After going through some more cutscenes, we also find out that the principal for the school in question is going to be somebody that we fought in the previous war or some type of conflict that involved the army. And at that point I had to stop the demo because I realized that I had no context for what was happening, but I still found it so interesting, so I went online and started looking up stuff about the Trails of Cold Steel series, and then I found out it's a part of a much bigger series called the Trails series, which currently has 10 different games in this ongoing narrative that relies on you playing all of the previous games in the series, and apparently Trails of Cold Steel 3 is the 8th game within this series, which as of this point the series is only about 60% done, which is insane because when you think about this, the series could end up totaling 15 or 16 games. The one thing that gets across in all of these different videos is that these games are greater as a whole as opposed to just being the sum of their parts. Obviously with any series, I'm pretty sure that there are some games that are better than others, but one thing that I see that gets across in every single one of these videos that I've watched is that these games are better when played together as opposed to just picking out one here or there and then just leaving the series alone. Also, everybody mentions that this is probably the best built world within video games, and if that's the case, it has a lot of expectations to live up to because I personally tend to like things that have really detailed lore built within their world and lots of characters that we can explore that lore through. That's why I'm such a big fan of things like the Fate, Fire Emblem, and even Grand Blue series because they have those very specific things that I'm looking for. I'm so excited to jump into this series that I've already purchased 3 games, which is Trails in the Sky first chapter and then Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. I just found it really funny that a great game demo just made me say it and buy 3 games in the series that I have no real experience with, instead of doing the usual thing where you buy 1 game after you finish 1 and you just buy them as you go ahead. Hopefully this doesn't backfire on me and I'll be bringing you plenty of Trails content in the future. But with all of that being said, you guys, I'm going to leave you all with a question. What is one series that you feel like that hasn't released in the Western world, something that's exclusive to like China or Japan or some other parts of the world, that has never come out over here that you feel like would be very popular if it was to get a release? Let me know down below, and if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and as always, if you enjoyed, leave a like. And with that being said, it has been your boy Skipx, and I will see you all in the next one.